Spurge here, and in this video we're going to break down the new Knox Handroid and Handroid Mk5 gloves. So in this video we're going to talk about the Handroid, which is the full gauntlet version, as well as the Handroid Pods, which is the short cuff version. And these are the new Mk5s, which are replacing the older version, which we have here as well. Now, the too long didn't read of this video is they basically made the cuff a lot less complex, and it makes a lot of sense. The old cuff had these two side pods. There was a very complicated Boa system that worked all the way around. The Boa system also wrapped the secondary strap. It was just a bulky, confusing, kind of complex version of the glove. They've simplified it. Now, prices increased about $30, so nothing too crazy. For the pods, it went up about $20, so $330 for the full Handroids, and then right around the $260 mark for the short cuff version, which I do have down here as well. We'll get to the short cuff version once I run through these. I'll switch my gloves and everything for you. But really, the meat and potatoes of this video is going to focus on the changes with the main version of this glove. And the too long didn't read is that, like, they just made it a little bit better, a little bit simpler, without sacrificing any of the protection. So we'll get into all of that as we break this video down. First up, though, is sizing. Sizes will range from a small to a 3XL. I am currently wearing a 2XL in these gloves, and it fits me exactly as I would expect. I am pretty much a 2 extra large in all of my motorcycle gloves across the board. If I'm using Knox's size chart, however, it puts me in a large, so I did have to size up 2 sizes. So I would recommend going with the size of motorcycle gloves that you normally wear, or if you are looking at the size chart, definitely size up 1, if not 2 sizes, based on what the Knox size chart is recommending for you. So, looking at the glove itself, if we're looking at the construction on this, you're getting Korean cowhide backing with a kangaroo palm. Kangaroo, very soft, very supple, will break in perfectly. Really, what I like about kangaroo is just maximized touch and feel from the controls on your motorcycle. This really is positioned as a top-of-the-line track glove from Knox. Obviously, when it was released, originally it caused a lot of attention with the Android-like fingers down the back, but this is their top-of-the-line track glove. Now, you can obviously wear this on the street, but with the amount of protection on here, it's not necessarily the most comfortable glove. It is maximizing protection over everything else, and that's why really we're calling this a track option. If you're looking for something maybe more comfortable in Knox's line, still giving you that get you to the track protection, the Alton Mk2s are probably one of my favorite gloves out there right now. A little bit of a reduction in price too. The Knox Alton Mk2s around the $160 price point. You are going to lose all the Handroid technology, but still a great street option with enough protection to get you to the track option. But if you're looking at the Handroid gloves, you are spending more than the average bear riding your motorcycle. You're spending more time than the average bear, rather, riding your motorcycle on the racetrack. So let's go ahead and break down what you can expect to see from this new version, starting with just, again, a look side by side versus the old one. You can see this new system is far simpler than the old one. Boa, if you've never used it, you pull up on the Boa system, everything loosens up, and you can easily get in and get out of the glove very quickly. Snap it down, and you can just ratchet. Now, this is a new Boa system. You can actually click backwards as well to fine-tune the fit on this. You can see it's much more of a stiff click when you're going backwards. They don't want it to slip, or you can simply pull up, and that allows you to just quickly release. So Boa systems are used in everything from like snowboard boots to motorcycle boots and everything in between at this point. Not new technology, but a bit refined in this new version of the glove. You have the ulnar protection over on the left-hand side. And again, not this big bulky protection on the inside where you really don't need it. It is a simpler design of protection for added comfort with this particular glove. It's still going to be their Micro-Lock armor. That is Knox's proprietary armor in a foam backing behind this. So very comfortable as you're using it. Because this is a full gauntlet design, the Boa system really doesn't get in the way of the jacket because you'd be wearing this glove over top of your jacket either way. As you take a look down the back, you're just going to see a lot of this has stayed the same. You're getting the accordion stretch at the back of the hand, foam back knuckles. Again, it's that Micro-Lock impact armor at the back of the knuckles. You're getting the Android system working down. The main change you're going to see at the back of the hand is that there's now true accordion at the fingertips, just adding a little bit of extra flexibility in the full range of the glove. That was kind of covered over in the previous version, so they've cleaned that up a little bit. And if we're looking at the inside of the palm on this, the main change is you're now getting touch tech at 3 fingers, so you're getting touch tech at the thumb, the index, and the middle finger. The previous version did have touch tech, but it was only at the index and the thumb. A little bit of a redesign from a styling perspective on the palm, but really not too much has changed other than the fact that you now have the Handroid Mk5 logo across the palm versus the old one had kangaroo palm written across it there. You're getting the extra layer of leather covering over on your impact zone on your pinky, working its way down into your palm sliders. Again, the palm sliders on this are almost like it's definitely a TPU, not a TPR, but because of the way that they've done the micro lock impact armor behind this, it is comfortable. Sometimes when you see palm sliders on even a track glove, they're just really unbearably uncomfortable. I think Knox did a very good job of implementing the palm sliders with this. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the other change you'll note here is that the secondary strap is now not tied into the Boa system. The old version was tied into the Boa system, didn't allow you to fine tune it. So the new one is a dedicated Velcro strap. I like this a lot better than the previous design. The only final note on this glove, if you're looking at this on the table, the one over here does have a yellow Boa knob on it. That is not a production sample. So all of the Boa knobs, regardless of the color you choose, will be the black system. And you can see, just pop that up, take the Velcro off, and you can easily slide out of the glove. But light updates over the previous version, still going to retain that Android system, which people know and love Knox for. But the cuff redesign is a big winner in my book over the previous version of the glove. Now let's take a look at the pod version. The Handroid Pod Mk5 is essentially the short cuff everyday version that you would get if you're just using this on the street. Now, a lot of the technology you're going to see here is the same. It's really just the fact that you have a short cuff design. You're no longer getting the secondary strap across the inner wrist on this. My only real critique here is that you kind of want to use this over top of your motorcycle jacket. So even though it's a short cuff glove, with that Boa knob on top, it really doesn't go under the sleeve of your jacket too comfortably. And depending on where your jacket sits, sometimes this can be a bit bulky. So just something to consider. You know, maybe you're trying these gloves on. Would definitely recommend trying it on with your jacket before you make a decision. Make sure it either can fit over top of your jacket, and maybe your jacket's at a length where that works, or your jacket has enough room in the cuff that when this is ratcheted down, your jacket will fit over top of the Boa knob. That's really the biggest critique that I have for the Handroid and the Handroid pods, and obviously that critique is specific to the short cuff pod version of this. But other than that, all the technology that we talked about, all the safety, aside from losing the secondary strap, is the same on the pod version of this particular glove. And like I said, the Handroids have really become, you know, a popular option for track riders that want that extra level of Android finger protection to help with any, you know, erroneous movement of your fingers in a motorcycle crash. So these are light updates that we're seeing over the previous versions. The previous versions have been pretty popular, and I like what we're seeing with that cuff redesign on the main Handroids. But there's a lot of people out there that are using these gloves all the time and have a lot of information to share. So if you want to read other rider reviews, you can click the information button on your desktop or mobile device. You can read other rider reviews from folks out there using the Knox Handroid gloves every single day, or at least every time they go to the racetrack. And if you're not sure as to which gloves are right for you or your riding style, your wallet, you can always reach out to one of our customer service reps that can walk you through all the different gloves available to find you the right gloves to match up with your riding style as well as your budget. I want to thank you for joining us for this look at the Knox Handroid and Handroid Pod Mk5 gloves. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.